Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Uh, so I've been getting a few questions lately about my two original pieces, Freeminded and the piece titled "I'm Sorry." And this video right here will be my 100th video, so I figured as kind of a celebration that I would put up a tutorial on how to play first Freeminded, and then later on I will put up a video on how to play "I'm Sorry." So I wrote this piece, Free-Minded, for a very specific reason, uh, or for a very specific purpose, I should say, and that is for people who have played, modern guitar, rock guitar, blues guitar, pop guitar, whatever, and want to make a transition into classical. And it's not as easy as a lot of people would probably think, because there is a big difference between classical guitar and standard modern guitar. And that's really what I did because I was a blues guitarist for a few years before I started playing classical. I've been playing classical for a couple years now, and I remember the hardest thing that I found in making the transition is mostly because I never really picked with my fingers before. I had every once in a while, but I was always using a pick with the fingers, and if you play guitar, you already know what I'm talking about. But it's a total different game when you're playing with just your fingers. And so what I want to do was write a song that used one very basic chord shapes that anyone who has played guitar for more than 6 months or a year knows pretty well, down pat. And those shapes are C major, D major, A minor, and E major. And all those actually stay in the one spot, except for the C major will move up the neck a little bit. And very, very simple on the left hand. Any amateur guitar should be able to get that pretty easily. And I wanted to keep the right hand pretty simple as well. So what I did mostly on it was it's all straight patterns, where P, I, M, A, and then back down, all the way through. It never changed. There's no alternating finger picks, nothing. It's mainly to get used for students to get used to being able to use their fingers on the strings. And so yeah, that's the main reason I wrote it and the main purpose I wrote it. That was the idea I had behind it when I wrote it. Okay, to get started, what you're going to do is you're going to put your fingers in the E major position, and you're going to start with your thumb on the A string. It's going to be a B is the bass note to start out with. All I'm doing right there is hit the A string with my thumb, G string with my index finger, B string with my middle finger, and the high E with my third finger. So it's P, I, M, A, and then back down. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off kind of forte, kind of a little bit closer to the end of the sound hole right here. Get kind of a loud tone out of it. You're going to play that twice. You're going to switch to a D major position. And you're going to put your thumb on the open D, and then up and then down, same as before. And you're going to do that once, and then go down to A minor. Use the open A, and then same as before, all the way back down, so you end up with. You actually play that twice. The first time you go through it, you're gonna play around this area, keep it kind of loud, kind of out there. And the second time you play it, after you finish with that A minor, when you go back to E major to play it the second time, a little piano, a little softer. You can kind of control volume with your picking on your right hand. The harder you pick, of course, the louder it's going to be. The softer, the softer the volume's going to be. And that's pretty much it. You've got that first part down already, and that's a third of the song. And so yeah, the big thing on this song that I like about it is dynamics. It makes it sound much more fluid, much more complicated than it actually is, because it's a very simple song. If you already play classical guitar and you have for a year or so, you're not going to want to play this probably. It's a little too easy. But so yeah, that's the first part. Easy. Moving on. After that second time through on that first phrase, you're going to make a C major position. You're going to start loud. And then go soft to the E major. And again, you're still using that thumb up and down, up and down. It stays like that the entire song. You never change it. So C major loud, forte, and E major soft, piano. You kind of try and make it move. You can hear the peak on every measure. So try and emphasize that peak and kind of make it move along and flow a little bit. So you're going to play that twice. The same thing. Loud, soft, loud, soft. And then when you go back to the C major the third time around, kind of soften it up a little bit from what you've been playing it, because you're going to finna move up kind of crescendo a little bit. So probably not quite piano, but around the sound hole. Then you're going to move the same position, C major, up to, you'll have your third finger on the 5th fret and your first finger on the 3rd fret. Same shape, same C major. It's up. Doesn't sound good when you play it as a chord, but when you're playing a single picking, again, keep the same pattern right. Then you move it up again. It sounds a little off when it's by itself, but when you put it in the rest of the song, it's going to sound good. So you end up with C major, twice, twice, once, 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 once. And on that part, the first time you play those two, you're going to play both of them loud. Then you're going to go soft. Again, dynamics make it sound much more good. And that's that part. You go through it twice, and then you go to the next part. You come back down to the C major after you play through both of them twice. And after you're done with that C major, you go to D major. And then down to A minor. Now, the important part on this is when you're playing that C major, the second time you play through that D major, don't hit the open D like you've been doing. Go back down to the open A so you can transition into the A minor. And you play each one of those twice. C major, D major, A minor. And the big, like I said, the big part on that is that's the big one. And after you play that A minor, you're gonna go back to an E major and start the whole thing over again. This is the ending. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit that A major just like you've been doing. Start kind of forte, right, a little bit below the sound hole. slowly decrescendo down. Retard while you're doing it. And then last, hit that open knee, kind of soft, and then just let it rain. And that's it. That's the entire song. Thank you for asking questions about it. I was a little surprised when I got the messages asking me how to play it, and it's kind of flattering, really, to be honest with you. But thank you, and thank you for watching. And if you want the sheet music to it, I do have the sheet music without the dynamics. I never put the dynamics into it. I actually kind of made them up as I was playing it for the first time in front of an audience. So don't have any dynamics on there. Sorry, I'm lazy. But if you want the sheet music, I can get it for you. So just send me a message if you want it, and thank you. Thank you for watching.